Welcome to the Weekend Adventure Canada. This weekend we're on a road trip.
Yeah, here we are in beautiful, wintry, windy Manitoba.
Yes, Winnipeg is known to be one of the coldest, windiest places in Manitoba, and we've decided to come here to see what people do here to beat the winter coldness.
Yeah, so we're going to head to the Forks, which is one of the most popular things to do in Winnipeg.
And I'm really excited because we're going to check out a candy shop that has been churning out chocolates for the past 50 years.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to go to the Royal Canadian Mint. I've driven past it many times, and we're going to actually get inside and see what they do there.
All right, so stick around. It's going to be a busy show. If you travel to Winnipeg from the east like we did, one of the first buildings that's going to greet you is this building, the Royal Canadian Mint. The Royal Canadian Mint makes literally every circulation coin in the country. So let's go inside and check it out.
Yeah, let's do this.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Andy.
Hi, Andy. Nice to meet you.
Scott.
Hi, Scott. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Royal Canadian Mint in Winnipeg.
Well, thank you for having us. We made the trip in from Kenora, a road trip, if you will. And we thought we'd stop by the Royal Canadian Mint to see what you have to offer.
Fantastic. We've got a lot going on here to offer at the Mint, especially for visitors coming for tours or to self-guide themselves. So yeah, this is where all of Canada's circulation coins are made. So all the change that you have in your pocket, in your piggy banks, or in those drawers at home, they've all originated from here.
And that's a lot of money.
It certainly is.
And
yes.
It's not just Canadian money.
That's correct. What most people, or some people, may not know is that the Mint also produces circulation coins for various countries around the world. So since opening the Mint here in Winnipeg in 1976, we've actually produced circulation coins for more than 75 countries around the world.
And that's all the flags that you see coming in.
That's correct. So as you come to the property, you'll notice there's a parade of flags, and that's in honor of our many international customers who we've produced coins for.
And those flags are blowing pretty hard today.
They are, and I'm sorry you're here on a cold winter day, but this is Winnipeg, and but we're a hardy bunch, and we can deal with it. We love it.
In terms of how big the building is, square footage, or like from the outside, it looks huge.
Yes, we've actually expanded the Mint in two different periods. So the original building of where we're standing right here was opened in 1976 and was designed by architect Etienne Guébery. And we expanded our facility in 2000 to include a plating facility, which is a patented process created by the Mint, part of how we produce coins. And then in 2013, just last summer, we expanded again to include a brand new state-of-the-art research and development center, and as well expanding our plating line as well. So right now we're standing at about 275,000 square feet for the plant, and we're an impressive building when you come on the property.
I'm pretty excited to start looking around, and we have many square feet to cover.
We do.
So I think we should get into it.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, currently we are on the tour deck of the Royal Canadian Mint. There are, in fact, right now school tours going through the area. Lots of tours through here. We are with Christine, one of our tour guides for today. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is what would you call this room here?
This area here right behind us would be our coining department, where we strike and transfer images on blank coins. And just here to our right is our packaging area, where we would package the coins up once they've been struck with that image.
So how does that take place? Like, what raw material comes out and what's the end product like?
First, we start with steel coils. So the base of all of our coins is now steel, and we plate them in different metals. So this involves adding nickel and copper and brass onto the steel before we would strike the image on that plated metal, and again package them afterwards.
So there are a lot of coins that get pumped out of here during the day. Can you kind of give us an idea?
Yes, when we're in full production, we can make up to 20 million coins per day, so that is roughly 16 coins per second.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
So So now we're downstairs in the boutique at the Royal Canadian Mint, and Christine, you're going to tell us a little bit about these amazing coins that we're looking at right now. We have some that range from not so much money to some that are quite a lot of money for a collector.
Yes, we have a really big range and variety of products, so definitely great gift ideas for anybody on your list, and great collector coins to choose from. So the first one I'm going to show you here is actually a mint first, and a world first actually. This is the very first coin that glows in the dark. The Winnipeg Mint produced the circulation Lucky Loonie, which can be found in your change, and the Ottawa Mint produced the silver version of that coin. So that would be this one here. It's a 1/4 ounce of pure silver, very similar motif to what's on the circulation coin, but it does have the red paint and also a limited mintage. So only 15,000 of the silver Lucky Loonies are available. This is actually the most expensive product that we have at the Winnipeg boutique currently. This is a 5-ounce pure gold coin, and it sells for $12,000. And the art on this coin is based on some contemporary Aboriginal art, and a coin like this has a very low mintage of only 200 worldwide. So these are the medals that were just like the medals given to the athletes from the Olympics in Vancouver 2010. And the medals are plated. So the center of the gold medal, for example, is actually sterling silver, plated with 6 grams of gold, plated with 6 grams of fine silver, and 6 grams of pure bronze. And each medal is unique in its design.
And how much would one medal weigh?
These are the heaviest medals that were ever produced. They weigh about 3 pounds.
Wow. So we always see these movies where people are just stealing gold bars.
Yeah, and just throwing them in the back of the white panel van.
Yeah. So this is actually going to show us what it's like. So here's a block of wood.
Right. They're all the same size.
Yep. Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Concrete, that's no problem. So toss me that gold bar.
No problem, Scott. Get the van ready.
Wow.
If I wanted to know how much I weighed in gold, what my worth was in gold, it's going to tell me. So I can go home and tell my family, and it'll just be amazing.
And that would be $250,000.
That is a small child.
Get the van.
As a child, it's probably pretty interesting, exciting if you come here with the school group, but as an adult, I'm equally as excited.
And it tricks you into learning things.
It does.
That's what I like about education, is it just tricks me into learning things.
Yeah, I feel smarter already. How much do you think?
You?
Yeah.
And gold?
Priceless?
A couple mil. I believe this is Norway. 1 point.
Correctamundo.
1 point for Mr. Green.
Yeah, I like where this is going.
I'm going to assume that's, yeah, exactly.
I can't even pronounce that.
The capital's Plymouth. I don't know that country.
$2,211,528.89. Not too shabby. Okay, where's Santa Claus from?
Santa Claus is from the North Pole. Yeah. And that's got a tree in it?
But
Is that
where did he originate?
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Guatemala?
Not what I was thinking.
That is not what you thought. This is how much gold a horse can't carry. 5 schmil. That's too much for a horse to handle right there.
Yes.
Yeah, our frequent viewers will know what that means. Well, that was great. The mint was just excellent.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're off to the Forks. Welcome back to the show. We are at the Forks in Winnipeg, and talking to us right now is Director of Marketing of the Forks here on a wintry Winnipeg afternoon. What are we going to be doing here?
Right now we are skating on our canopy skating rink, which is part of Arctic Glacier Winter Park. We have 2 rinks in this area on land, as well as 1.2 kilometers of trails. And then we're going to head out down to the Red River Mutual Trail, which is a trail on the frozen Red and Assiniboine rivers, right in the heart of downtown Winnipeg.
All right, well, Chelsea's brought us down to the, what would you call this?
This is the port area. So this is usually the area that freezes first in the winter and the first section of the Red River Mutual Trail to open. And this is really the hub. This is where our curling bonspiels happen, some hockey tournaments, some pickup hockey games. ice bike, all kinds of festival programming takes place right here in the port. The Warming Huts is an art and architecture competition. So warming huts, not necessarily in the physical sense, so something to think about when we're inside. But each year we have 3 winners, part of an open competition, and then the University of Manitoba submits a piece through their Faculty of Architecture program, and then we have an invited architect. So that's 5 each year. This is our 5th year doing the warming huts, and any remaining huts from previous years will come down onto the Red River Mutual Trail as long as the structure is sound. We have a lot of huts, of course, that in the previous years that are made of ice, so obviously those will not be sustainable throughout the summer.
I guess I was under a misconception because I'm not any warmer.
Yeah. But is your heart warm?
Yes, it warms my heart and my creative spirit.
There you go, yeah.
But a good way to keep warm is keep moving.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and
Right?
that's the idea, right? We're out here to get some exercise and to see a part of the city that you wouldn't normally be able to see.
Okay, so we found a warm-up shelter that makes us nice and toasty. Chelsea, what are we in right now?
So this one is also one of this year's winning entries. This one is called Red Blankets, and from a team of art and architecture designers out of Toronto. And yeah, there's I think 11 of them in total. Huge pieces of red felt, and yeah, just like you can wrap yourself up in them and they actually keep you quite warm. This place has had a lot of eras. It started out 6,000 years ago as a place where Aboriginal peoples met and traded, and we have history on the site through artifacts of those meetings, including some peace meetings between different tribes. And then, you know, it was a place where people came to trade during the fur trade era. So one of the original forts actually touched on this site because of where it is close to the Red and the Assiniboine rivers. So it had a fur trade era, and then it had an immigration era. There were a lot of people who emigrated to Canada and came for the promise of land who would have come through here. There are evidence of immigration sheds along the Assiniboine River. And then it became a rail yard as well. So that's its last era, where most of the buildings on the site are now from. And of course, 25 years ago, it became the city's meeting place with 4 million visitors a year. So it's had a lot of history over its 6,000 years. People come here for a lot of reasons. We have about 250 events every year. A lot of those are third party, some of those are our own. We're the place where you come if there are big celebrations, New Year's Eve, Canada Day. And then you can just come here and hang out on you know, a patch of grass and have a picnic or go down to the river. So people come here for so many different reasons, and I think that's what makes it a great place. We've tried to keep everything here very local. The Forks, there won't ever be, you know, national or international chains here. Everyone who's here, they may have another place within the city, but they are unique. We try to make it sort of grow it, buy it, bake it, and sell it here. And we have a lot of nationalities here. Winnipeg is definitely a melting pot of cultures, and that's really represented at the Forks. I think what's fantastic about the Red River Mutual Trail is that every year something new comes our way and we're able to add something else. I think what it's done is it spurred the imaginations of people. This isn't all us. This is us providing a venue, the Red River Mutual Trail, and others coming forward and saying, hey, would it be okay if we tried this? And we're the kind of organization that says, yes, let's try it, let's see if it works. And we've been very fortunate that people use us as that backdrop to these amazing events that they bring to us.
So this is a great skate. We made some good friends with Chelsea. Met Michael now.
Yeah.
Anytime you're giving out mini donuts, you definitely pick up some people, eh?
Well, I think we deserve this. We did some skating and racing.
Yeah.
We saw the sights. We
It was-
didn't we're not gonna lie. We didn't do the whole trail.
No, we did a good portion of it though, and I can't wait to be back.
Yeah.
This is something that I think you can come back to quite often. So.
And bring your whole entire family. It's good for everyone.
Exactly, yes.
Everyone can rent skates, and that's a big bonus. You don't have to bring your own. Come down, rent some skates, hit the trail,
Yeah.
come back with some mini donuts.
Yeah, thanks, Chelsea.
Should we
You're
cheers?
welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the show. We traveled from the Forks Marketplace over to Sargent Avenue, where we met Fred Morden, and we are at Morden's Chocolates.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We thought we were a little bit spoiled down at the Forks. We got mini donuts.
Oh.
You have something a little better maybe to give us
We're
here.
going to give you a little bit more.
Yes.
Let's see if you like that.
So I also heard a rumor too, and Scott, you heard this as well, that we're going to be put to work.
Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta
cheers.
earn it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
We got some aprons and we got some hats. Make
All
sure
right.
everybody's ready
All
to
right.
go.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Okay.
get suited up.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it fit?
Okay.
Looks like we might be getting dirty.
Yeah.
Hope that semi comes in while you guys are here. We'll unload that. We're gonna make some sugar toasted almonds. Okay. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start this up. Okay. And we're gonna let that boil. All that is sugar, some cinnamon, and water. Okay. And we're just gonna let that boil. What we should do next is we should go upstairs, watch the girls dip some Russian mints, just so we can come back down here and check this out. We bought this whole line in 1971. We built the upstairs here in 1969. Used it as is until we can afford to, buy an enrobing line.
So your staff is working really hard on the Russian mints,
Yes.
and it must have been a recipe that your grandfather came up with?
Yeah, my grandfather and my dad came together and they said, we need a nice melt away. And so they got together with this recipe, and we've tweaked it over the years, of course, way back in 59. And then now it's is our bestseller.
Is there any defects? Like, is there anything that we're looking for where there's some guy at the end of the line eating the ones that maybe don't go to market?
We could put a guy at the end of the
Are you
line.
hiring?
Yeah, well, we were one of the first companies in North America to actually start putting chocolate on the juju.
That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Good for you.
that's what I'm here for.
I love those. What's the most you've ever seen one person eat at one time of these?
Well, before you got here, I just did a demo for myself. I think I ate about 3/4 of a pound. When you're dipping things in chocolate, what you want to do is you want to enrobe the whole piece. That's what that machine was doing upstairs. So, and then you want to give it a shake, right? Give it a turn, and then put it on the wax paper.
I was too big to ride a horse once in an episode. And you got to ride the horse, and I had to sit there and watch her. I couldn't ride. So as much as I really want to eat everything here, I really want to get on a horse one day in my life. So.
You dip them, I'll eat them.
Okay, I'll dip, you eat. We'll get you too big for the horse.
So this is about 300 degrees now. I couldn't grab this with my hand if I tried. So what I'm doing is that secret ingredient that I put in helps keep the nuts separated. So just because it's hot, I got to keep them moving so they don't stick together. This is candy now. Candy's about, 280 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it sits and cools for about how long?
5-10 minutes.
Okay. And then it's good to, would you put it in a bag, in a box?
Yeah, we have it in little tubs.
Okay.
We sell it. Yeah.
Is this a special recipe to Morden's, or is it?
Well, a lot of people are making these too.
Yeah.
But these are very popular all time,
So
all
then-
year long.
What happens is you have the almonds there, and then you have this chocolate here, and then you just gotta.
Chocolate all over your
I
face.
do. Thanks for telling me.
You-
I get a little late, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So then somebody just grabs the chocolate, puts it on the almonds, and then we're inventing things here.
Yes,
right?
yeah. There you go.
Huh.
Here we go. I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah. Well, and you said that's part of your job. You get to come to work every day and you get to invent things. So
Yeah.
I think it would be a pretty decent job.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun and a lot of work. Well, we are certainly closing the show off this week on a high, a chocolate high.
Well, yes, we are. I got a number for you.
Between 1 and 10?
No, between 1 and 2,000.
What's that?
1,853. The
Why?
amount of calories that I just consumed.
But we thank you very much, Fred.
Quite
Yeah.
welcome. Thanks for coming by.
It was a lot of fun. We learned a lot. We got to make our own chocolates, and we have done a lot of things in Winnipeg. This was our last stop for today.
Yep.
We started at the Mint.
Yeah, we've got to thank the Mint. That was an incredible tour. And then we went over to the Forks and we worked a little bit over there. I thought we were going to work pretty hard so that we could, feel good about coming over here. But we didn't work that hard.
No, we didn't. But you did put us to work, and we appreciate the tour, and we appreciate the samples.
Yeah.
And letting us open our creativity here. And one thing that we've learned here in Winnipeg from the places that we've been so far is Winnipeg is rich in history. It stems back many years, and Morden's Chocolates of Winnipeg is one of those places.
Yeah, that is. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this show. Make sure you stay tuned for our next episode, and make sure you like us on Facebook.
Yep, absolutely. See you next week.